welcome to another one of Black Iron's battles. Today we've got a super cool 2 versus 2 Total War Warhammer quick battle for you, where I am teamed up with the Gobbo King. We are facing off against some Empire opponents. So we have brought our standard armies. I've brought my Greenskins, and he's brought the goblins over here with the CrookedMoon, and we've brought definitely some cool stuff. So right here he's got the Night Goblin War Boss. Additionally, he does have an Orc Shaman, and you see he's brought a lot of buffs there. He's brought that, we can get it on there for you guys. He's brought this Skull Wand of Kaloth. He's brought the Scroll of Power. He's got Here We Go. So he is just, you know, trying to just buff the hell out of the units using this this Orc Shaman. Additionally, if you guys saw there, he's got 3 groups of trolls. Now, typically trolls are pretty hard to control because they have such low leadership, but if you're able to keep them fighting, they're armor piercing and they're able to do some damage. He's also got more Grubs Mangy Marauders, the Death Creepers. He's got tons of regiments of renown. If you look over here, he's got a group of Night Goblins which do have a chevron. He's got the Warlord's Boys, and if he can just buff up those Warlord's Boys, he's able to do a ton of damage with them and just keep them moving into the back lines of the. He has 2 more groups of Night Goblins. This one's actually the 8-Peak Loonies. And I mean, those 2 Regiment of Renown Night Goblins are some of my favorite units in the game. Here in the back, he's got 2 groups of Orc Biggins, just to support his army. And he does have 2 Doomdiver Catapults as well as a Hammer of Gork. So, I mean, we've brought a ton of artillery with us. If you look over here, you'll see I've also got a Goblin Rock Clobber, which I've got up to a Silver Chevron to increase the accuracy. And I've also got a Hammer of Gork. Too. So we've got just a ton of Gork power in these artillery. Here for my front line, you'll see I've got my standard Goblin firing line. I've got 2 Goblin Archers with the Rusty Airs. I've got some Orc Biggins mixed in with Savage Orcs. So I've got a little bit different than my typical Black Orc front line. And we've just got a long Biggin Savage Orc line. They're mixed in here. We do have Grimgore. We've got our Night Goblin Shaman with, you know, Sneaky Stealing. And then, you know, Gork will fix it. Itchy Nuisance. We've got these 2 groups of Black Orcs in the back this time. We're just going to, you know, bring them in to fight wherever they're needed. And we do have the Goblin Big Boss over there on the Spider. Over here for the Empire, we've got the Hammer of the Witches, which is that long distance firing cannon. He's got he's got a group of flagellants, he's also got a bunch of spearmen up here. He's got 2 groups of handgunners right in the front, ready to start blasting. He's got these spearmen on the flanks, spearmen in the middle, and he does have Boris Todbringer here. Look, he's got him up there on his flying mount. Got him on the Griffin. He's also got a Jade Wizard up there on a Pegasus. So I mean, you know, he has spent a lot on those flying heroes, but he's definitely got. I mean, he's still got 1 group of great swords. He's got a lot of units over there. If you look up here, you can see they've got 2,100 units to our 1,700. So they do have quite a few more numbers than us. If you look here, he's got some halberded Demigryph Knights hidden in the trees. He does have some halberders all across the front line. He's a whole line of halberders. Let's go ahead and hide the foliage there. And he does have handgunners here in the front as well. So they were prepared to do some blasting. They do have crossbowmen, great swords, and the Tattersouls there to hold up that front line. Now, since those guys are unbreakable, they'll be able to hold that back line indefinitely. So let's go ahead and get this battle started. Right off the bat, you'll see the Gobbo King. He starts moving right in. He's got a Night Goblin Shaman in the back right there for Sneaky Stealing. But he is just going to be moving in on this flank. But I mean, luckily we started really close, and we're just going to start. Oh man, look at those Doom Divers landing right there. And then we are going to get some Rock Lobbers. I mean, they're going to start coming in here. Look at that. So you see just blood flying everywhere. And I mean, I don't know if they were prepared for the Rock Lobbers to be firing right off the bat, but I mean, if you look here, even the Hammer of Witches is taking some damage. So we just got all our artillery firing right in, and we really just wanted to rush and engage as quick as possible. If you look here, I mean, he's already got his Death Creepers and his Mortar Grubs firing in at this group of handgunners, and look at that. I mean, they're broken off almost immediately. So Gobbo King is really just charging in here. I mean, he's going to be here in the forest. He's going to be able to fight. These trolls are staying in. They've got Here We Go. And I mean, these trolls are just going to be doing a ton of damage. Over here on the flank, you'll see the Warlord's boys, and I mean, the Night Goblins are going to take a big charge from those Demogryph Knights with halberds. But I mean, you know, these things are anti-large units. They're not really meant to be fighting something this small with this numerous. So these guys are going to start doing a little bit of damage. They don't have any kills yet, but they will be able to get some kills for sure. So over here on my side, you'll see we have done a ton of damage with this artillery. You know, the Hammer of Gork, and we've just been landing in here. And even though he is shooting in there with that, oh, look at that. I mean, that group of handgunners is already way down. And look at this. I'm going to start debuffing these units. We've actually got our Orc Biggins and our Savage Orcs in here, and they're mixed in. So, I mean, those Biggins are definitely going to be protected a little bit just from the numbers of Savage Orcs surrounding them. You'll see here he does have Earthblood on a good number of his units, but it's just not gonna. It's really not gonna help. I mean, these Black Orcs are gonna charge in here, and so he's gonna lose these. I mean, just Swordsmen and Spearmen are not gonna hold up against these Savage Orcs and these Biggins mixed in. Additionally, look at that. I mean, I got all my firing line to start firing at that Hammer of the Witches, and I mean, it is already shattered off the field. So he is having a hard time over here on the right. And he is just not really getting Boris and the Jade Wizard into play as much as he needs to, because I think just because his front line was so overwhelmed. Over here on the left, though, you'll see Gobbo King. He is having a little bit of trouble, just like trolls are wont to do. These trolls have, you know, they've definitely routed off. We've got, you know, the General of the Empire here. He's flying around, and he's done some damage to that Night Goblin. And I mean, Gobbo King is just, I mean, he's just the king of the goblins, though. So you see, look at all those arrows flying into these Demogryph Knights. He's still trying to get in there with the loonies. And I mean, a bunch of other units have actually been killed. So if you look here, I mean, you see that these great swords, Sigmar's Sons, I mean, they've taken huge amounts of damage. And I'm going to be able to start coming over here from the right because his front line broke, and I'm going to start to assist with this, you know, anywhere I can. We're trying to let the green tide roll over these Empire players. But you see the balance of power is very close. So these units are routing, but luckily I was able to just to keep these Biggins right in the back here. But you will see that Boris is going to charge into the back. And I mean, those Biggins are extended out there, and they're not going to be, you know, too happy. They're going to start taking shots from these handgunners. But, you know, they're doing a lot of work over there. And what I really need to do is just start getting my army back into the middle and getting them back into play. But I mean, if you look over here, we are starting to group up. My Biggins are in here with his Biggins. And I mean, we're going to start getting that artillery shots in. And so hopefully with these swordsmen, these flagellants, I mean, even though they're the Tattersouls, I mean, they do have 28 kills. But I mean, we're just going to be bringing this green tide in on the right for sure. Over here on the left, Gobbo King's Death Creepers are getting low on ammunition, but I mean, they have been shooting the whole match. Between them and the Morgrubs, I mean, these Demogryph Knights are finally almost gone. The Warlord's boys are in here fighting to the death. I mean, they've got -2 leadership. They're broken, but it looks like these Demogryph Knights are going to be broken too, and they're going to rout right off the field. So that is just a, I mean, look how many models were left on them. So that is disappointing for the Empire player. That's going to cause a huge swing in favor to our side. And I mean, we're just going to keep smashing. I mean, look at that. He's got Boris charging in there, but I mean, I really am having a hard time catching him. So, I mean, I've got a big group of orcs and everything moving there on the right. And I'm just really starting to use my Goblin Fire Line to assist over here on the left. You'll see they just start nailing these crossbowmen who are just starting to lose models. Look at that artillery land in there. And that is going to break that group of crossbowmen off for sure. We do have a Goblin Big Boss, which is right here, and I've went ahead and sicked him. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of health, but I mean, since he's a duelist, he should be able to fight that Jade Wizard pretty well. And it looks like, you know, these Night Goblins are also in here. And I mean, even though my Goblin Big Boss did get routed off, this Jade Wizard is now just stuck in this group of Night Goblins, and they're going to hopefully be able to get rid of Sigmar's Sons and do some heavy damage to this Jade Wizard. If we look over here on the right, you'll see that we have finally caught, we've got this Night Goblin and we've got this group of Biggins on top of Boris. And so even though, you know, he's using his different spells and everything, he does have some handgunners here. I was able to take a group of handgunners out right here, and I do need to start moving in on this group over here. But I believe I'm microing over here because I really want to make sure we wrap up this last little bit. Oh, look at those Doom Divers nailing their own biggins. But we do have Grimgore. He's in here. He's gonna be just killing. You know, Grimgore. You can't stop him once he's in that battle rage. So he's just gonna, you know, be in this back line of these Empire players. And there is not a lot of units left for the Empire side. You see here, Boris is actually taking a good amount of damage. He's just in with these biggins. But the main fight is going here on the left. I mean, we've used up almost all the ammo on our artillery. You see here, these more grubs and these death creepers are pretty much out of ammo. All of these archers are super low on ammo. You know, just all of our ranged units were just able to be shooting the entire match, which caused a big difference, I feel like. If you look over here, I mean, I've actually started to get my units moving now. So they're probably gonna get right into these handgunners. This group of Orc Biggins, you'll see they're gonna charge in there. They'll cut those handgunners up to pieces in no time. You'll see they're pretty much immediately broken. They're taking down to 5 units, 4 units, 3 units. I mean, they're just gonna be killed to a man. Over here on the side, you'll see that Boris finally breaks. I mean, there is just not a lot of Empire troops. All the orcs are chasing them off the field. All the greenskins are just you know, mixed in here with the goblins, and even look at all those trolls remaining. So I mean, that was just a great match. I just loved using the greenskins. It was thematic against the Empire, and it was just a lot of fun. Let's go ahead and take a look at the post-game wrap-up. You'll see here that we deployed, you know, only about 1,880 units. They deployed over 2,000 units. I mean, he had a ton of units here, but these units, a lot of them were bunched up, and I mean, our artillery was able to take the day. If you look here, I was able to get 118 and 114. That is just a huge amount of kills for artillery. And so we were able to do a lot of damage. Look at this. I mean, this goblin archers, they cost almost nothing. And between them, they got 59 kills. So, I mean, you know, they were able to do a significant... I mean, look at that. It's 100 kills on that goblin firing line. That was more than the Black Orcs got put together. So, I mean, that was just great value. These Savage Orcs were able to get a huge value, too. And, I mean, we were just able to get kills all across the board. If we look at the Gobbo King here, I mean, same thing. His artillery, 100 kills with that Hammer of Gork, 66 with the Doom Diver. I mean, that's 200 again for the artillery. I did see his Orc Shaman got taken off really quickly by the opponent's general. But, I mean, these biggins were stars. Look at that, 200 kills, 109 on the AP Cloonies, and 40 on the Warlords Boys. I do know that Gobbo really does like to buff these elite units, so he was just getting kills across the board as well. For our opponents, you'll see here, I mean, these spearmen were not able to really find a place. The swordsmen weren't either. I mean, this, even with the Hammer of the Witches and, you know, 100 kills on these Demogryph Knights, I mean, look at this front line. It was just collapsed almost instantly. Even though this group of halberders was up to a silver chevron, 8 kills. I mean, that is almost a, you know, 900 gold or something for the 8 kills. It's just, you know, wasn't really cost effective because of the way they were bunched up like that. If you see your opponent has some artillery like that, you definitely want to spread your lines out, spaghetti them right away, just to minimize the damage you're going to take, you know, in the approach. If you look over here at Milo, he definitely has, you know, silver bullets, only 2 kills. Look at this front line. These halberders, I mean, normally they'll get huge amounts of kills against the greenskins. They were just overtaken. 2 kills each, 14 here. I mean, Sigmar's son's only 20 kills. Greatsword's 25 kills. Overall, I mean, if you look here, I lost 265 units. So I was able to keep my guys high and tight. I was able to, you know, kill off any of those routing units and different things with the rock lobbers, and I just did not take a lot of losses. I mean, that was just a really, really strong game from the Greenskins this time. So I want to say thanks again to Gobbo King for playing this game with me. Great game to my opponents. Thank you all so much for watching. This is Black Iron, and this has been another one of Black Iron's battles.